What's going on, everybody? UFC 306 happened last weekend, and I want to kind of give you guys my thoughts on the card, you know, about the fights, everything like that. So let's start off with the first fight. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ari Chilang. Um, Raul Rosas Jr., he dominated the first round and the third round with grappling. The second round, it got a little bit hairy with the striking. Um, he didn't, do as well as I thought he would, but he still won. He did pretty well. But I thought he would have been able to finish Ari Chilang. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to. Um, but he's still young. He's still growing as a fighter. Um, so I wouldn't, harbor on this too much. He's probably gonna have way better performances in the future, but definitely didn't do as well as expected. So that is what I thought about that fight. But let's move on to this one. Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. This was an amazing fight. It was a really close fight. The first round, Edgar Chairez was piecing up Van a little bit, landing some good shots. I think he dropped him. And in the second round, Van beat the fuck out of him. He almost finished him. And right as he was about to finish him, Edgar Chairez threw a perfect spinning back fist. And then he rocked Van, started teeing off on him. So it was an amazing second round. And then Van, he won the third round. This was a great fight. Went how I thought it would. I thought Van would just be a little bit more powerful and faster in the boxing exchanges. And Van, he's a really good fighter. I think he's just, he's a little tiny for flyweight, which is not good because he's got great boxing, great technique. He's fast, but he is just a little bit tiny, and it's hard for him to really land shots on these guys that are taller than him. But overall, it was a great performance from Van. He did get wobbled a couple times, but he got knocked out like a month and a half ago. So I wouldn't, harbor on it too much. But it was an amazing fight. So yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Yasmin Yaregui versus Ketlin Souza. Ketlin Souza just fucking cracked her with a left hook and snatched up a rear naked choke instantly. Put her to sleep out cold. Not much to talk about. Yasmin Yaregui is not as good as I thought she was at all. She's gotten finished quickly twice now in the UFC. So, kind of ends her hype right there, dead in the water. But Kaylin Souza, she did pretty good. Good fight. Good performance. She's got a lot of power in her hands. That's something. So I'm excited to see how she does in the future. But I am kind of disappointed that Yasmin Yaregui sucks. So yeah, but we will move on to the next one. Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. Now, Manuel Torres, he hurt Bahamondes a couple times in this fight, but then he started rushing in with his chin down, and that is just not what you want to do against a guy like Bahamondes. Um, he leaned back, cracked him with the right hand several times. I think he did it once, and it dropped him, and then the second time it knocked him out. Um, Great performance from Bahamondes. I mean, Manuel Torres is not an easy guy to beat. We've seen him. He's been doing pretty well in the UFC, and Ignacio Bahamondes made him look silly. So Bahamondes is a really good fighter. He's getting a lot better fight to fight. So I'm excited to see who he fights next in the future. I'd like to see him fight, Jalen Turner, Daniel Zellhuber, you know, Yo Alvarez, one of these taller, lanky guys. I'd like to see that. And I don't think Manuel Torres is done. I think he can still improve a lot. He's a good fighter. He's got a lot of power. Um, but he just made some silly mistakes in this fight. So it is what it is. I did pick Manuel Torres, and Bahamondes proved me wrong. He's really, really good. So on to the next one, Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont won a pretty easy decision, and there was an accidental headbutt in this fight, and Irene Aldana looked like she got attacked with a fucking machete. Dude, it was bad. She had a gaping wound in her head. It was like this long. It was pretty bad, very bad. They can fucking let her go to a decision, but they can't let Jack Shore fight through a little cut on his leg. Um, so that was kind of stupid. I think it should have been stopped because that cut was horrendous. But yeah, Norma Dumont, she just kind of coasted to a pretty easy decision. She's good, you know. She's not too exciting, but it wasn't a bad fight. Um, she's good. She's got good boxing, good kicks. She's a very well-rounded fighter. So I think she's gonna do well in the future. I could see her getting a title shot one day. So, she did pretty good. But not much to talk about with this fight. Now, Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. I thought this was a draw, but it was close. I get it if you think Rodriguez won. In round one, Ode Osborne dropped him with a right hook. He hurt him bad. And then I think he locked up a triangle for like 2 fucking minutes, and I think he gassed himself out trying to finish it. I don't know how Rodriguez stayed awake. And then in round two, I think it was round two, Rodriguez beat the fuck out of him with elbows. Um, and then in round three, I think Rodriguez won very narrowly. So, yeah, it was a good fight. I just wish it wasn't on the main card. But Ronaldo Rodriguez, I thought he would make it look a little bit easier. So, kind of takes the hype down a notch for me. But he's still good. And yeah, he's a very exciting fighter to watch. So, I do like him. He's great and very entertaining flyweight. So I'm excited to see who he fights next. But on to Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovic. This was the best fight on the card by a mile. One of the best fights of the year. One of the best fights I've ever seen. Every round, the striking was amazing. Both of these guys are very good. Round one, I think Zellhuber won. He was using just like long rangey weapons very well. He's got a good jab, good right hand. He's just got really good boxing. He was finding good right hands to the body several times. The guy is really good. And in round two, I thought Ribovic won round two very narrowly, just landing the better strikes. But in round three, Zellhuber goes out there and drops Ribovic with an elbow. And Ribovic pops right back up. And later on in the round, he cracks Zellhuber with a right hook from fucking hell. It was a right hook from hell, dude. And Zellhuber just starts stumbling around. He starts doing the rope-a-dope. He's fucking out of it. I don't even know how he survived. Ribovic unloads like 100 fucking punches on him. Probably more than 100. I'm not even joking. It was a lot of punches. I don't know how he kept up with that pace. I wish he would have slowed down and started throwing some more body shots, but he unloaded so many fucking punches. I have no idea. Oh, I didn't mean to click on Diego Lopez there. I have no idea how Zellhuber survived. His chin is fucking crazy, but that is a lot of damage to take. But this was just an amazing fight, and Ribovic is a beast. I picked him. That was a pretty good underdog pick. He was a big underdog. I just love his boxing, man. He's such a good boxer. The way he mixes up hooks to the body and the head, his technique, it's just great. He's one of my favorite fighters. And Daniel Zellhuber is really good too. He made the fight very close, so much that it was a split decision. But yeah, amazing fight. I hope both these guys got 50K. I didn't look at who got the bonuses, but yeah. Moving on to Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. Now, this fight went kind of how I thought it would, and also at the same time, not how I thought it would. So in round one, Diego Lopez goes out there, cracks Brian Ortega with a right hook, or like a right hand over the top of his jab. That basically knocks Brian Ortega out. He is out cold. He's falling. He's fucking asleep like this. He's dead. And Lopez hits him with a left hook on the fucking jaw that wakes him up. So he knocked him out with the right hand and woke him up with the left hand. And then he goes on to engage in the grappling with Ortega, and he does very well. I feel like Ortega is the most dangerous when he's hurt. So Lopez did very well with the grappling. Ortega couldn't do anything. He couldn't even take him down in the later rounds. Um, but I really wish Lopez would have made Ortega stand up in round one after he hurt him, because he definitely would have knocked him out. Ortega's brain was fucking scrambled eggs. So round one, 10-8 for Lopez, easy. He beat the shit out of Ortega. He landed a lot of ground and pound strikes too. And then in round two, he was just landing, better punches. He was just kind of like just outboxing Ortega. And round three, same thing. And then I think it was in like the last minute, he cracks him with a nasty left hook that rocks him again. And he just beats the fuck out of him. So 30-26 for Lopez. Great performance. I honestly thought if it went past round one that Ortega was going to win. I thought Lopez had to knock him out in round one. But he dominated him from start to finish. I like that he slowed himself down a little bit and paced himself. So Lopez is a very dangerous fighter, man. He's so fucking good. One of my favorites. I see people saying he should fight Volkanovski next. I don't want to see that. Keep that away from my eyes, because I think he would knock Volkanovski out in one round. And I don't want that to happen. I really want him to fight Ilia Topuria if he beats Max Holloway. I think that would be an amazing fucking fight. But Lopez can beat anybody in the world. I think Max Holloway and Ilia would both beat him, but I think he's going to beat anybody else. I think if he has a rematch with Mobzar, he's going to knock him out. I think he'll beat Arnold Allen. He'll beat Josh Emmett. He'll beat Yair. He'll beat all these guys, except Ilia and Max. So Lopez is a fucking beast, man. He's getting better fight to fight, too. So I'm really happy with the way this fight went, and it was amazing. So great stuff. Moving on to the co-main. There's nothing to talk about. It was dog shit. On to the main event. I'm still fucking salty about this one. I really wanted O'Malley to win. I picked him to win. I literally put in my thumbnail that he was going to make Merab look like a silly goose. But Merab's game plan just like, I did not expect him to fight the way he did. He didn't fight how he has in the Cejudo fight, in the Yan fight. He wasn't just rushing forward trying to take O'Malley down. He was shuffling around on the outside, just circling, and then he'd throw some kicks and wait for his opportunity to be able to shoot a takedown, and O'Malley just couldn't stop it, and he just kind of froze up, because I think the only game plan that he had was to wait for Merab to come to him and counter, and Merab wasn't coming to him. He wasn't giving him opportunities to counter. So Merab had a fantastic game plan. It was a pretty boring fight, and honestly, people are talking like Merab fucking completely dominated him. I don't think it was a domination. It was a pretty close fucking fight. Round 5, O'Malley hurt him really bad with the body kick, like a front kick to the body. I wish he fucking completely let his gas tank go and teed off on Merab. But, yeah, I guess he was scared of getting taken down in the last minute of the fucking fight when he hurt somebody. It is what it is. I think he could have finished him there. I wish he did. But, so, O'Malley wins round 5. Round 3, I think O'Malley won that round as well. And round 1 was pretty fucking close. Now, I think Merab won round 1. I think he won round 2. And I think he won round 4. But I see people acting like 48-47 is just fucking crazy. And I don't get it. I think it was a lot closer than people are thinking. And a lot of people are underselling how good O'Malley is now that he lost to Merab, who's literally the most fucking unbeatable bantamweight fighter ever. The guy gets his hands on you and there's nothing you can do about it. And his gas tank is endless. So, Merab is a fucking beast. I honestly think he's the greatest bantamweight of all time. Because who the fuck is Dominic Cruz beat, really? Like, Merab is on a 4-fight streak of Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, Henry Cejudo, and Sean O'Malley. That is the best 4-fight streak you could ever fucking have at bantamweight. So Merab, amazing fighter. I knew he was amazing before this. I just didn't think he would fight with such a good game plan. So I'm very impressed with what he was able to do. Um, I'd like to see him fight Umnar next. Umnar, that'd be great. And I want to see Sean O'Malley fight Corey Sandhagen. I'm seeing people fucking flip flop now, dude. They used to say, oh, O'Malley would smoke Sandhagen, he'd knock him out, he'd make him look easy. People used to say that, and now it's, oh, Corey's gonna wrestle fuck him just because he lost to Merab in grappling exchanges. So I think people are fucking acting like O'Malley was never good. It's ridiculous. I think he's gonna knock out Corey if they fight. I think he'll knock out Henry Cejudo. I think he's gonna knock out Peter Yan in a rematch. But and I think he can knock out Merab with a few adjustments if they have a rematch, you know? I don't think O'Malley's completely done, but I think at the end of all this, Umnar is going to be the bantamweight champion, and he's probably going to retire undefeated. So there's nothing anybody can do about Umnar, but, you know, it was a good card overall. The main and co-main, the momentum completely fucking died. It was horrendous going from, this amazing fight, Ortega versus Lopez. Oh my god, we have a new featherweight contender. He's like a new Charles Oliveira. To and then Merab fucking doing Merab things. It is what it is. I do not like him. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I like Merab and enjoy watching him fight. I don't, but I can't deny the guy is a really good fighter. It's extremely impressive what he was able to do to Sean O'Malley, considering that Aljamain Sterling couldn't fucking do it. So, good stuff from Merab. Shit stuff from Valentina Shevchenko. Terrible. Horrible. Good stuff from Lopez. It was a good card, man. It was a good card. The Sphere, the visuals were cool, but I don't know why the fuck I need a history lesson on Mexico in between fights. It was fucking stupid, man. It was just a big waste of time. They could have done some other cool visuals instead of that. But overall, it looked cool. Looked like an awesome experience if you bought the $3,000 tickets. And I hope the UFC goes back to the Sphere one day with a card that isn't just about Mexicans. Because imagine there was, UFC 300 in the Sphere. That would have been the greatest sporting event of all time. But overall, it was a good card. I'm disappointed that Sean O'Malley lost. I'm salty about it, but it is what it is. And Umar Nurmagomedov, if you're listening, please save us.